Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am the one and only, the true and living legend, Honcho J23, and you are now tuned in to the latest, hottest, most episodic show on all social media platforms, that is Independent Scene Podcast. This is a very, very special edition that I'm bringing to you guys live today, right here at 4 o'clock p.m., you know what I'm saying, August the 30th, 2021. I'm eternally grateful to have you guys on the platform. Real quickly before I bring my guest in, I have a really special guest today. She is none other than my cousin. I've had her on the podcast already once, and she's back again to give us some updates on what's been going on with her. So I definitely cannot wait to chop it up with her and see what's going on. But ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please allow me to welcome back to the Independent Scene Podcast my cousin, the one and only Denetra. Let's get it.
Hello.
What's up, cuz?
What's going on, cuz? How's everything?
Everything is good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been busy, but I'm good.
I see that. How's everything been going?
It's good. I'm sure you can hear the hoarseness in my voice, but I mean, it's been great. I'm in like so many different business ventures right now. I'm like in a whole nother realm.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I'm excited. Excited to finally be able to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I got going on.
Right. Well, with that being said, real quick before we jump into that, introduce yourself to the people, and then we're gonna jump right into it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Denetra Taylor Everett. I am Jay's cousin, of course, his older cousin, but I'm his cousin. And I wear a lot of different hats. I am a fashion designer. I am a photographer. I am a script writer, among other things, but I wear a whole lot of different hats nowadays. So
that you do it all so well and ever so gracefully. All right, so first things first, give us what's been going on. Talk to us. What's been going on with you as of late?
So what most people do not know
is
for the past year and a half, I've been writing a script.
Okay.
It's something that's going to be totally different.
Okay.
Something that needs to be told. It's a story that needs to be told. Okay. I tell people, they're like, "What you writing?" I'm like, "It's a sci-fi paranormal movie with a twist."
Okay.
It is called The Feast.
Okay.
We're about to be to the point where we have all of our actors and actresses, and I am now learning about the back end. I'm learning about production. All I thought I was going to have to do was just write a script and, hey, okay, my script is ready. Here you go. Let's go.
Right.
No, I'm about to learn it all.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be, it's a sci-fi, but it has so many different, it's going to have so many different graphic things going on. You're going to be like, wow, like, oh my gosh, is this a Marvel movie? No,
right.
It's not Marvel. You know, but I'm excited because the cast is mostly minority.
Okay.
And it tells a story about a very special group of women and what they have to do to survive.
Okay.
So it's called The Feast for a reason. You always hear that saying, what you bring into the table.
Right.
Basically, whatever you bring into the table is going to have to be whatever you can do to survive.
Okay.
And that's what this is about. It's about a very special group of women, what they got to do to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You know, with this being sort of I would like to say a first time thing for you. I know it has been absolutely incredible to know that you're being able to be a part of this project and, you know, put your own little spin and twist to it. I mean, when you found out that you're going to be doing something like this, what went through your mind?
So I have, since the age of 14, I've always been into writing. I've done poetry. I've written short stories. So it was like, cool. Okay, that's it. That's good. I've done that.
Okay.
I never thought that I was going to bring forth a script. I
Okay.
never thought I was going to learn, what it takes to make a movie. I give props to everybody that is in that industry.
Right.
It's a lot that go to it. I tell anybody, I was one of those that if ever I saw that it was like two Marvel movies coming out on the same year, I'm
Right.
like, yo, it's easy. It
Right.
doesn't take that long.
Right.
No, it does. It takes a long time to bring a script to life,
Right.
to
Right.
bring it to bring it to the big screen, or even just to bring it to like Netflix and Hulu and all those streaming.
Right.
It takes a lot. And
Right.
I am learning, and I'm enjoying it. I've had my moments where even in writing the script, I had to throw it to the side. I'm like, I'm frustrated. I'm not doing this.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
but I had to push through. I have a wonderful, wonderful production company that I'm going to be working with. Mr. TJ Harper. He is with Paint a Picture Production. And my cast is phenomenal. Um, my husband has been a really big supporter of it.
Okay.
My mom and my daughter have been behind me, just like, Mom, where you at? My daughter's been like, Mom, where you at with the script? My
Right.
mom's the
Right.
same way. She's like, where you at with the script? What's going on
Right.
with the script? So it's moving forward. Am I going to tell you that it's going to be out next year? Nope. I'm telling everybody that it's coming soon because we're going to make sure it's done right.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now talk to us about this production company that you have already. Crimson. I think it's Crimson, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Now talk
So,
to us about that. How did that come about?
Crimson Vibe Productions. Like I said, I started writing the script, but even before then, I got into photography.
Okay.
I had my company, A Tutu for You,
Okay.
and I was doing runways and doing shows, and I was working with all these different models who are awesome.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Had my first camera. Like, I'm gonna learn how to take pictures. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
learn the details. I always say that I want my photos to tell a story.
Right.
God bless that we have been the production company itself is me and my husband,
Okay.
Savalas. And so we have been published 7 times now. We have been published in different magazines 7 times.
That's amazing.
And yeah, that's big. So, we got the photography down, and now we're getting into the production part of it. On my end is going to be script writing and writing for plays. He'll handle some of the technical background stuff.
Okay.
He's worked on plays and different things of that sorts. And then, like I said, right now we're also going to be learning the video camera, learning, those angles, that lighting and all that different stuff. So it's all fused together, but it's a work in progress as well. We're looking to grow and expand. But yeah, started off with photography.
Okay. Okay. Now, of course, as many myself and many others know, you started this design of doing tutus. Now, talk to us a little bit about that. Because I've had the pleasure of being a part of one of your fashion shows and
Yeah.
being with some of the models in some of your designer tutus. So, what made you want to get into wearing tutus or designing tutus?
So that Tutu started off with a friend wanted something different for a birthday.
Okay.
I think I'll make a tutu,
Okay. Okay.
I always tell people I was into fashion beforehand, but I never pursued it because I don't draw. I draw stick figures. Even to this day, do not ask me to draw a person. I draw stick figures. That's all you're gonna get out of me. So
Right.
I didn't pursue fashion because of that.
Right.
And I made a tutu for her, and it was just word of mouth. Somebody else wanted one. Then somebody else wanted one. And it's funny because, I'm a curvy girl.
Right.
And I've had plus size women like, nah, I don't think I'll look good in the tutu. That's what I specialize in. I specialize in tutus for curvy women.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I started off with. My ultimate goal is to be able to get into making gowns and couture fashion,
Okay.
things that you're not going to see just out on the street. Things that are just above and beyond and different.
Right.
And I'm still pushing forth with that. I got a fashion show that I'm going to be a part of. October 17th is Best of Both Worlds. It's going to be in Raleigh. I will send you all of the information for it, and I'll let everybody know once I have everything down. But yeah, it'll be October 17th. So y'all keep a watch out, and I will let everybody know when that show is going to be. And it's going to be about bringing a little bit of everything. I'm going out of my way on this one. I'm stepping up with some new designs for this one.
Okay. Now, also to kind of touch light on not only do you do tutus, but you also got into creating face masks and bandanas, little things like that. So was that also kind of part of the journey of with you doing tutus as well, or was that just your own thing?
So of course, when COVID first happened around the first time, it started off with the idea of keeping my family safe.
Right.
It got to the point people couldn't find masks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got fabric, let's make our own.
Right.
And that's what me and my mother started doing. And that started from there. With the bandanas, that's the fashion into me. If I'm gonna wear a cute mask, I want to wear a head tie, a headscarf or something.
Right.
So that's what the bandanas came in for. And the bandanas they're for men and women,
Okay.
So it's not, some guys like to be stylish. They want to wear a matching bandana with their mask. Okay, right. I got you. That's not a problem. So that's where that idea came in from.
Okay.
And so now we're back with this whole thing with COVID. So, I haven't stopped making masks, but, I'm not going to make a whole lot of them unless somebody actually decides that they want one. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's where that comes in from.
Okay. So so for a second, I want to kind of piggyback because you talk about this movie, The Feast, and you talk about having such an incredible and phenomenal cast. I want to know and gotta know, what's that like, bonding with the cast and getting to know them and, being around them and y'all, as I say, in a sense, being on set, if you will, and learning the lines and learning the script. Like, what is all that like for you?
Man, let me tell you, I give it up for them. I wrote it and I know it, but to see these wonderful men and women, to see them come forth and put the personalities with what is on paper. A lot of what I've written, somehow, some way, each of the cast members match up perfectly with them. I've had some of my actors say, "This is me all day. This is how I act." It should make it a lot easier.
Wow.
If this is how you are, all you're doing is reading these words, your own personality is already in it.
Right.
Right. So and I literally close my eyes and I vision what this movie is going to look like. And so each person that is talking during our table reading, I see them. I see what the background is going to look like and how I see their facial expression and their body position when it comes down to when this movie gets started. So I see all that. And my cast makes it pretty easy. I was blessed to know most of the actors and actresses in my cast through a model talent agency.
Okay.
So I know them, and we've been doing our table reading now it'll be close to a year.
Okay.
Close to a year. And what it is many of them have done some acting, some haven't done any at all. Right. But that's okay. Like I tell them all the time, y'all haven't acted. This is my first time writing the script. So we all in this together. Right. From the very beginning process of it. We all in it together. We gonna figure this out. Right. And it's been great. It's been really great. You'll be seeing some of the cast since we now can talk a little bit about the movie. I'm hoping some of them will decide to do some interviews themselves. Okay. And get them out so people can see, who these people are. Right. Who their character is. You
Right.
know, a
Right.
lot of this movie goes back to like we're going through 3 different time periods with this movie.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to say what time periods because I don't want to give everything away, but you know, it's not just a modern movie.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we're hitting some pretty important time periods on the timeline of our lives.
Right.
So it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little different, and I'm excited. I mean, that's not the only thing I'm excited for because then I'm going to be sort of kind of in front of the camera on a whole nother project.
Right.
Per se.
Right.
So
Now, talk to us now. Look, if you can talk to us a little bit about that. I mean, you know, because you know, me knowing you, you know, as my
yeah,
cousin and everything. You know, of course, you know, you and I know, you know, you're not really the camera person, but now, in a sense, now stepping into that spotlight. I mean, I know this guy be like, oh my gosh, now I really gotta, you know, deliver, you
yeah,
know, like only I can, you know.
yes. So I will be a part of an animated production called Hoodwoods. Hoodwoods was created by Mr. Terry T. Hall Jr.
Okay.
He is a radio personality, and he has this awesome story about these superheroes
Okay.
that are different. It's not Marvel and it's not DC. It's sort of like your main superheroes are out in the world, but who's protecting the hood?
Who? Right. Right.
And so it's these complex superheroes and villains.
Okay.
And I actually get to be a superhero. So you won't
Yeah.
see me, but you will hear my voice.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I will be playing Lady Feline. She is a superhero. And man, this is probably as close as I'm gonna be to being on the forefront.
Right.
Because like I said, it's not actually me, it's an animated series, but you will hear my voice. So this is gonna be it's out of my realm, but and nowadays I'm like, sky's the limit. You know,
Right.
I have these talents for a reason.
Right.
You know, why not go ahead and, you know, join this industry?
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
I'm excited about Hood Wars. I mean, you got to think about, I am a anime comic person anyway.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so the closest thing I remember before Black Panther coming out was what was his name? Static Shock. I don't know if you remember the little black boy.
Right.
That he was the superhero.
Right.
That's the closest we had before Black Panther.
Right.
As far as like seeing us.
Right. Right.
As a superhero up front.
Right. Right.
I may be wrong. I'm not an expert at it. I remember Static Shock. I remember watching Superman and Batman and all of that. And
yeah,
I don't remember really seeing us represented. Right. So now you have Static Shock.
Right.
And we then had Black Panther. And that was like, oh my God, look at us. Look at us. Look at what we can do. We don't just have to be gangsters. We don't just have to be drug addicts on the street when it comes down to a movie. Look at us.
Right. Right.
Now that was a whole movie. So now here you have an animated series.
Right.
You have an animated series of minority superheroes and minority villains. Who does that?
Right. That's a story. That's truly a story.
It is a story. You know, like I said, we got Black Panther, we got Black Lightning. Let me not forget that. But those are modern day now. And I have not seen the animated version of those.
Wow.
We got Hood Wars coming.
Wow, that is simply incredible. You know, it's so amazing because, you know, like you said, it's very rare. It's very, very rare that, you know, we see people of color, you know, on the big screen a lot. You know, we see it. I mean, it's like we see it, but you know, but when it comes to something that is gonna, as you once said, tell a story, you know, that's truly phenomenal. So I gotta ask this question: being a writer, being able to see your talents and your gifts come to light, being able to put all this into the full spectrum, I want to know mainly and specifically, you know, do you think that it's been past time for people of color you know, to be out here on the big screen and to, you know, go above and beyond and do and fulfill these as you said, these superhero roles.
Past time, way past time. But let me tell you where the game is changing now. The game is changing where it's not all about the big wigs and the big buildings.
Right.
It's now about those indie production companies. It's now about those indie writers, and it's about bringing those to the silver screen.
Right.
I say that Netflix and Hulu, those big streaming companies, have really brought forth the idea of, wow, these are stories that African Americans, these are stories of Latinos, these are stories of Asian, these are stories of us, minorities, period, that should have been on the big screen.
Right.
Should have been on the big screen, but we were blocked. And it's that big thing called racism.
Right.
We were blocked from being able to be great. But you got a team of people now. People saw Tyler Perry made it and has his production company.
Exactly.
And then you get all these wonderful other men and women who are writers, who are filmmakers, who are behind the scenes that have production companies. And they were like, if he can do it, I can do it too.
That part.
And that's why we're now starting to see an influx of all these wonderful stories. And we're starting to be able to see that every black man is, like I said, not a drug dealer. Not every black man that's successful is a basketball player. We're starting to be able to break those stereotypes.
Wow. Wow.
It's been needed. But everything happens for a reason. And I'm hoping that just this generation is seeing what's going on, that I can make it if I put my mind to it. And not only that, do something different. You got film behind the scenes. It's amazing to see a cameraman and everything that goes into it, the editing, CGI, which is computer graphics, and putting all of those special effects in. You know, everything's not always going to be a bachelor's degree in business or medicine or law.
That's true. That's true.
And what I have learned is, if you are passionate about something, you are going to go hard for it, because that is your passion. Right. It's not a career, and it's not a job. You are going to go hard for it because it is your passion, and you know what you can do. Right.
That's good, because I like that.
Yes. If it's a passion, it's going to mean more to you.
Right. I agree. I totally agree. So let me ask you this, because what's been, and again, I got to ask this question. What is some of the advice and some of the words that you get, you know, from people that are watching you and seeing you, you know, share your talent, share your gifts, and really, you know, and like you said, are pushing for your, are being driven in your purpose and in your passion? What are the people saying? I know they're loving everything that you're doing right now.
Yeah, let me tell you. My mama taught me a long time ago, your circle, keep it small.
Right.
From high school on up to now, I still have those friends and those people that's like, wow, I did not know you could do all this back in them days, because nobody really knew about it. I didn't share my talents. You know, I kept a notebook and pen and paper, and you know, I always was writing something, or I was always trying to sketch something on a stick-figure person. But nobody ever really saw it. So people now are like, wow, you know how to do all this back then? No, I was learning that. I was learning me, and I'm still learning me. But now I'm comfortable enough with myself to bring myself and my talents forward. God gives you talents for a reason. He don't give you talents for you to sleep on those talents.
That's true.
What you got going on right now is a talent. You didn't sleep on it. Had you slept on it, you would have missed your opportunities on a lot of different things. And that's how I take this now. I take it the fact that I am not going to sleep on any of my talents, because them talents in the fashion world is going to lead me to New York and LA Fashion Week. My talents as a photographer might lead me to Vogue or might lead me to Essence or Ebony, one of those magazines, to be able to shoot for them. My talents as a script writer might lead me to be able to collaborate with some of them big wigs. I'm going to be knocking on Tyler's door. Tyler's going to be like, oh, you got the script that I really want to put together. And I'm going to be like, let's go for it. Tyler, if you're listening to this, I am saying you give me a call. Call me. Call
Tyler. Call Tyler.
Call me.
Trust me. We definitely, listen, you know, and for me, you know, not speaking as Honcho J, but speaking as Jay, as your cousin, I am totally blown away, and I am super duper proud of you. You have truly truly, as I've been always told, you have come a long way, and to have been a part of some of the things that you've done, you know, I for myself am eternally grateful to you for allowing me, your cousin, to be a part of some of that. Because not only did I learn a few things, but I also, you know, again, that's what networking is about. I was able myself to network with some really, you know, amazing and incredible people. That, you know, one of them being Robin Shockley from Focus Forward, you know, and the list goes on. So it's just like, wow, it's like you never really know who you're gonna run into. So I, again, from my heart to you, I am totally grateful, and I thank you for everything that you've been helping me to do, get my stuff out there, been promoting me and stuff. So I definitely appreciate it. You know, of course, you know, you definitely got my support 10 times over this way. But also, I wanna ask this. So now, you know, kind of going back to the movie once again for a second, because, you know, when you see certain movies and you see certain characters, you know, it's always those thoughts in your mind, like, okay, is this character, like you said, really the character that we see on TV? Now, again, as a writer, when you're sitting back and you're watching these characters bring these people, these actors and actresses bring these characters to life, and you're seeing it, it's like, do you see any of who they are as the person blend in with their character?
Now that is a good question, and it could be a yes and a no. I've always heard that a good actor can live in a 3-bedroom starter home, but be in $1 million production, and you would never know how humble he is, and he's playing a billionaire in a movie. That is acting. But then you also have those actors that they can bring forth a little bit of their own personality into the role that they're playing. And I always say those come from movies that sort of inspire you. You know, I take it to, God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman. I have seen him play James Brown. You would have thought that's James Brown. I've seen him play Jackie Robinson. You would have thought that's Jackie Robinson. And as Black Panther, you would have thought his name is actually T'Challa. That is a great actor. And he takes on the characteristics so much to the point you can sort of see him as that person. So it's a two-way street on that. But an actor's job, an actor and actress job, is always, from my understanding of it, is always going to make you believe. Okay. You're going to believe that they're the best person in the world. You're going to believe, wow, from this inspirational movie, they got it all, or they're inspired to get it all. Or you're going to believe that this is just a villain, a stone cold, heartless villain. Right. It just all depends. But their job is to make you visualize and believe what is on that screen. Wow. Now, I will tell you, I look at movies a lot different now. That's seeing the actors and actresses. I'm looking at how the camera pans out, how the camera does close-ups, how it transitions from one scene to another. I'm like, wow, I didn't pay attention to all this stuff before. But this is when you're in the industry, when you're, you know, getting your foot in that industry. So I'm learning. I am a student right now on that. But I want y'all to know, don't think Jay not gonna be in the movie, even if he, you know, doing a walkthrough or something. He gonna be in the movie. And me and him to talk about that. He gonna be in the movie. So, you know, I always believe, you know, family is great. Family you take with you.
Right.
So I'm trying to get some other family members in it, but they being a little quiet on it, but that's okay though. That's okay.
Most definitely, most definitely. Like I say, y'all, but see, y'all, like I say, y'all gotta stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So let me ask you this, because you know, and you talk about your husband, you know, who is truly one of your biggest of the biggest supporters. You know, what's that like? You know, to take this journey together as a couple, as a unit, and really just birth this thing into just, you know, just this wide, spectacular phenomenon.
You know what? When we met, he's a wrestler. So when we met, our first conversation, which was like 6 to 8 hours long, was about his career.
Okay.
And when I was able to go to his first match, I was his biggest cheerleader. I was right there. I was there. I was holding the camera and cheering him on. And as a couple, that's what it's about.
Right.
You know, we met at the level of him in his career, and he's been there supporting me on every idea that I've had. You know, when I got into designing, he bought my sewing machine. You know, got into photography, he bought my cameras. He bought all the background stuff, the lighting and stuff. He bought the video camera. And he's like, we're going to do this. So it's like, wow. Like, I've always heard that that's how a couple should roll together. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really realize that that actually happens. And I'm blessed. He in the movie too, so, you know, playing a crazy role.
Most definitely.
So, but yeah, it really is truly a blessing to have, you know, someone that's with you from the very beginning. So that way, when we got the house up on the hill, it's like, wow, look where we came from to where we at now.
Right, right. So let me ask you this, because, you know, and again, you said you're a big movie watcher, and you're mm-hmm. a movie watcher. Has there been any movies that you would have loved to have been a part of, or, you know, maybe been behind the scenes or writing some of the scripts or some of the roles out?
Yep, sure have. Okay, I don't know if anybody remembers this. It was considered a crappy movie, but let me tell you, I wrote part 2 to A Vampire in Brooklyn.
Okay. I can see that.
It was considered, whatever reason, it was considered a crappy movie, but that was one of my favorites, and I wrote part 2 to it. I had the whole storyline already panned out on how to have a part 2.
Okay.
I'm sure I probably still got my ideas somewhere around the house. Okay. So yeah, I had the idea of writing of that. I like loving basketball. I had the idea behind that one. I mean, you saw a little bit of the end of it, but can we have a part 2? Right. You know, right. Let's see. I got so many different ones, so many ones that it's like I just came up with idea. And then I thought about it, and I'm thinking about it now. It doesn't have to be a part 2 to anybody's movie, but it could be a part 1 to maybe another production of mine.
See? And see, again, that's why I say that is the true beauty of having a mindset where you're able to create these things and visualize these things in your head and be able to bring it to life. Yep. And then when you bring it to life, it's just like, wow, that is extraordinary. Like, that's phenomenal. So, wow.
Listen, I did not realize that I was as creative and I had such a vast imagination as I have. Like, right. One of my favorite movies right now is A Wrinkle in Time.
Mine too. You know what's crazy? it's funny story about this. So I think I've watched that movie at least maybe 4 times. And every time I watch that movie, it's, you know, of course you always learn something, but just to see, for me, it's the, you know, of course it's the colors, it's the people that's in it,
Yes.
you know, and then to see someone like Oprah, who really just, oh my God, just comes in and just absolutely floors the entire movie. That is a movie that I'm like, yo, I would have loved to have been in, because that right there, it was just one of those movies that made you see, like, yo, like you said earlier, the sky is the limit. You know what I mean? Especially when you're working with Oprah in a Disney movie. That's wow. That's wow.
Movies have come a long way. The graphics, the things that you can do in a studio now is so different from our movies from the past, even some of our cartoons or animated series, where I'm old enough to say that I've seen a lot of the old school cartoons with the puppets that they're flying through the air and you see the string.
Right.
You gotta think about it now. All it takes, somebody with a computer and an editing program, they can make a shot and then go head on and create whatever world that they want to create behind those shots that they took.
Right.
So, you know, just the technology alone has just, it is so vast now, you know, and it allows people that are creative. It allows people that have those creative thoughts in their minds to be able to bring it to life.
Wow. That is simply...
It is the bomb.
Like I said, that is simply amazing. So, you know, I got 2 more questions for you. So now, you know, with everything that you've been doing, with, you know, with your career being, you know, being where it's at, you know, what has been the most greatest reward for you as a person, as the person behind it all? What has been the biggest reward for you that you've taken away or learned from all of this, from this entire experience?
The greatest reward that I've had, I thought it was going to be when I was a designer and I did my first show on the runway and see people cheering. I thought it was going to be that. I thought it was going to be when I had my first pictures published and people like, oh my God, look at that. I thought it was going to be that. And now with this script, I thought it was going to be, oh, well, when the movie comes out, to see people cheering and cheer you on, I don't even think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be that quiet moment that I have with my mom, who has sacrificed. Say, baby, I'm proud of you and what you're doing. That's going to be it. That's right there. My mom, my daughter, my husband, for them to say, you did that. That's going to be my proudest moment.
Most definitely. You know, and again, you know, I can't express enough how grateful I am to you and how the people are grateful to you that you're able to bring your ideas to life. And you're putting these people in positions to where their lives are changing for the better, and their, you know, their lives are, you know, are different, you know. And so, like I said, I definitely cannot wait to see what's next, because I know you still have more to come. I know it's as much as you can't still can't speak on, but like I said, I know the world is ready for what you got next. And so my last thing I wanna ask, you know, with everything, you know, when everything now, if we do, you know, if there's a point where your daughter wants to take on this position for you, what steps or advice or tips would you give her to keep her grounded, to keep her rooted, to make sure that she sees this thing through to the end?
My thoughts are this: God first, family.
Exactly.
Stay grateful and humble in what you're doing, and God will continue to open doors. God will continue to bring people in your circle or in your life that's going to help you excel.
Most definitely.
So, and then it's going to be learn everything that you can learn now. At
Most
her age, as a young adult, learn everything you can learn now. I'm a little older. I'm not old. I'm older. But had I in my youth, had I gone to New York School of Fashion, or had I gone to New York film school, where would I be now? Could be I'd be burned out.
Right. Exactly.
And lost my mojo. That
Right.
could have happened. So everything happens for a reason. But whatever you want to get to become, whatever you want to do in life, learn it. Learn it. Don't just throw yourself into it. Network, meet people who are already in there, who are humble, who's going to mentor you and motivate you. Take courses and classes. Learn it. Learn it. Learn your passion.
That part. And with that being said, real quickly, let people know where they can follow and tap in with you to get all these exclusives and updates and all that good stuff.
All righty. So on IG, you can find me on Crimson Vibe Productions LLC. That is anything dealing with the movie and photography. For the design business, please look me up on a 224U. So a 22, the number 4 and U. Y'all can also find me on Facebook. I just look me up under my name, Denetra Taylor Everett. I want to give a shout out to my cast. I want to give a shout out to the production company, Mr. TJ Harper. Got to give a shout out to Terry T. Hall Jr., creator of Hoodwoods. I want to shout out my cast names, but I ain't gave them. They didn't give me permission, so I'll shout you all out next time. Make sure I got everybody permission to say y'all name on.
Most definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this has been another special edition of Independent Scene Podcast. I'm the one, the true living legend, Hunter J23, and we have been talking with the fabulous and the wonderful, my cousin, Denetra Taylor. Make sure you guys go support Hood Wars. Make sure you guys go support the feast. It's coming soon, so stay tuned. We appreciate you guys for joining us on another episode. We love you guys. We thank you for the support. Keep supporting, keep showing love, keep giving that gratitude. And as I always say, always chase your dreams, always chase your goals. Always climb to your destiny and reach for the stars. But with that being said, this is my time. I appreciate you guys for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene Podcast. From myself, Hunter J23, from my cousin Denetra Taylor, we're out, guys. See you later.